so. I'd like. You didn't even have to touch anything. Nice job.
Amazing, huh?
So I want to call the regular meeting of the Columbia Board of Selectmen to order on Tuesday, December 19th, year 2023 at 7 p.m. We are actually going to have a hybrid meeting this evening because our town administrator is at home. Thankfully, keeping his cold to himself. There'll be people in here and, Mark, you're okay to speak freely on this, but anybody who's in an audience of citizens, should they show up, we will call on them if we need to, or during audience of citizen, and they'll state their name and address, and everybody will be respectful. Excellent.
Sounds good.
Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Approval of the agenda.
Okay, so. Yep, sorry, there's some things you,
I think I have to add something.
no, it's just to reflect.
Okay.
Okay,
So I move to amend the agenda to reflect a correction to be made on 9.2. It should read retirement of Gail McGrath as Assistant Town Clerk. And then in addition to the Town Administrator's Report 10.7, is this another, how it should read? Grant from the Connecticut Secretary of State of $10,500 for costs related to implementing and conducting early voting,
yes,
not conduction.
right,
Okay, I move, I move to approve the agenda with the amendments. All those in favor? Aye, thank you. I hate to ask for those. Okay, approval of the minutes. Well, let's take a look at last week's minutes. Okay, I move to approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes for November 21st, 2023. So that was a month ago almost, so. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Thank you. Opposed? None. Is there any citizen on here? No? Are you checking that or is Mark handling this?
he's handling
Any
it.
citizens on there, Mark?
Oh, I got you. No, sir.
Okay. Old business, Lake Management Advisory Commission's proposed updates on Lake Town ordinances.
You have a clean copy of the ordinances with some minor changes to grandfathering that we discussed and referencing drones back to being regulated by the DEEP
Yep.
authorization. And a draft has been sent for a preliminary review by DEEP. And I recommend we find out what their thoughts are, and then we bring it for again, unless we want to get back into discussing, which was a more involved discussion on egregious and dangerous actions being penalized for, and how that weighs in. Those might not be the words.
Yeah, I get your gist. I remember that. And the other thing I want to ask is, with you sending the preliminary to DEEP, since they are really in partnership with us or own the lake bottom and stuff, in our ordinances, do we have, or is there wording somewhere in DEEP about, you know, motorized gas machinery working on the lake bed when the water's drawn down?
I don't know about the lake bed, because normally that comes under LMAC's recommendation and Board of Selectmen's votes on whether we hire anybody to do anything. But I think DEEP doesn't own the bottom, we do, and they are in charge of the water.
Okay, and have we, because, you know, we have some situations to learn from. Did we get, what does it inland water say? Are they involved in that too, right?
Well, like they did their electrofish survey, without we said it was okay for them to do it, but they weren't really looking for a blessing. They were gonna do it.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about anybody putting let's say, somebody has to redo their wall. And I know that we have allowed, Jim Blair with maybe a battery operated to be on the lake bed to be able to pick up rocks or something, or have made a.
That comes under wetlands,
That's what I thought, wetlands, inland wetlands.
right? And wetlands reports up through the state.
Okay. So in that, can we just make a note, have you gotten with inland wetlands here to see what guidance we have with people who disregard that or don't know it, or are we making sure that we've read it right?
Okay, I'll check that through Isabel and John.
All right, so since this went to deep, now I'm talking about the ordinances, we're just gonna wait to get it back to see if they have any changes of their own or recommend anything?
Well, it's not an official review. It's kind of do you have any problems with anything we're looking at? It can't go to deep for an official review till the Board of Selectmen have passed it.
I understand that, but if I have a real problem with some of the preliminary read, they'll let us know, so there's
Yes.
really, we're gonna do on this?
That's what we're waiting on, to see what their thoughts are.
Okay. So this is the copy that went to deep, and so I would ask everybody, if you haven't read it, if you have read it, look at it again, because if it comes back. If it comes back to us from deep with the blessing, then they see no problems would be what we go with. All right, any comments from anybody else? Okay. New business, set a tri-board meeting.
Move at a tri-board meeting for Wednesday, January 17th, 2024, at 7 p.m.
Any discussion? I think I'm around. No? Okay, all those in favor? All right, opposed? Thank you. And approval of the FY 24-25 on a new business, you take a look at that. This is. It's nice, it's there, we work it as we have to, but I move to approve the fiscal year 24-25 budget process calendar as presented.
Oh, wait a minute. There's just one at the bottom. One up from the bottom should be a 24.
427.
And 4 up should be a 20.
What is he saying?
What do you-
4.
So the 427 should be a 424?
Right.
Yeah.
315.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 423 a 424.
And also 417-27, we should do 417-24.
24.
And 315 24.
Yeah,
It should be all 24s.
Yeah, makes sense.
so it's getting ahead of ourselves.
27, but 24.
So this should be 424, 24, 24.
All of
Yeah.
them should be 24.
I know,
No,
I
but
got
the
that
date
part.
is 4/24/24, 4/27/24 is set.
It's 4/24/24.
So the deadline to advertise is at 4 PM on 4/24/24.
Right.
And then the public hearing is that night at 4/24/24 at 7 PM.
No, it's 4/27.
Public hearing,
Is that,
You're advertising for the town budget meeting, not for the public. hearing.
not for the public hearing. Or budget meeting, annual town budget meeting on,
And we
May
can't do that
14th.
before the public hearing,
right?
so
Okay.
it must be 27/24. Now it does.
Oh, that's, okay.
Yeah.
So I was. He had 23, but that's what it is, okay.
Now it does.
All right.
Times goes right to best.
Anybody else? All those in favor? Have a happy new year. Okay. So Columbia Lake, application to replace the dock and seawall for Karen Lewis, 214 Route 87. I move to approve the application for the replacement of a dock and seawall for 214 Route 87 upon the recommendation set forth by LMAC. Where is that? Down. They're actually reducing it. a little?
Yes.
They have to?
Originally, they had it,
Oh, they had a 28.
right, and then LMAC went out and they had them reduce it from 4 to 2.
From 28 to 26.
Yep.
Okay. Wonder who checks that when it's done. Okay, any discussion, any more? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, thank you. Okay. Application to repair steps for Russell and Zenga and Joan and Zenga, 12 and 15 Collins Road, Columbia, Connecticut. Okay, I move to approve the application to repair steps for 12 and 15 Collins Road. Is Collins spelled right? Upon the recommendation set forth by Elman. What are the Zengas doing? They have a right of way, correct?
Is that right?
I don't know, do they have a place on the list?
Says, right,
I know it's a safety hazard they're trying to fix.
Sure. Okay, it's the third one in here. Repair 2 concrete steps. Okay, any discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye. It is. Yeah, it's a right of way.
Right, and steps that get down.
And the last one is application for, I move to approve the construction of a new dock at 146 Route 87 upon the recommendation set forth by LMAC. And it is one there. Okay, scope of the demolition. Eastland Enterprise will walk a mini excavator out on the existing concrete dock, grab a hold of a concrete dock with a machine and pull back with brute force and swing the excavator around to a waiting skid steer. Yeah, this is a nasty dock. Okay, so they're gonna do it all by getting something down there, breaking it up and lifting it out of there without putting anything on the lake shed. Okay. Any discussion? Who's doing this work? Did it stay?
William Natchez, inland docks.
Any discussion? Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, appointments and resignations. Cindy Latko, payroll specialist, completed 6-month probation. I move to remove Cindy Latko from a 6-month probation and place her as a full-time employee. She works in Bev's office. And Bev's all happy about this, right? So,
She has a recommendation letter.
excellent. Oh,
She wrote it all.
recommendation. letter.
Yep, it's in, yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, let me go back to, so we have a retirement to announce the retirement of Gail McGrath as the assistant town clerk. I went to high school with Gail. I've known her a long time, so she does good work down there. And she'll be missed. She's dry sense of humor, but a good sense of humor, and she does a nice job down there, so. We'll miss her. Thank you. And appointment of Karen Butsky to the assistant town clerk. Well, let's see, he wasn't more too long.
Nope.
So, Mark, you want to talk about how you came to, Karen?
Sure, Stephen. We're lucky to have Karen, who's already been, trained in that office. She's been shadowing the clerk's office for, Jen, what, about 2 years now?
Yes.
And she's received some of her certifications. Wait a minute. And she'll be stepping in for Gail, same hours, 30 hours a week. And she's already taking her advanced training to continue to be a certified town clerk. So we're delighted. And she's very well liked by all the employees.
Could she be both the registrar of voters in town?
No, she'll have to resign.
Resign for them.
This is a full-time. Part-time.
Too bad.
So it's
She
not
did a good job.
considered, okay, so that's a part-time position, so, yep, okay. Good, and then the resignation of Fred Bednarzik, highway maintainer.
Fred found a new job and we wish him well. And it's unfortunate we're losing him.
We vote to appoint Karen.
She is a part-time position, so Mark has the authority to. Yeah. And then the resignation of Fred. Fred, he got a nice job offer, and Fred was a nice addition when he came to us a couple of years ago when they.
Right.
So, good luck to Fred.
Correct.
And resignation of John Dilworth. So I move to accept the resignation of John Dilworth as the alternate on the Inland Wetlands and Water Course Commission and appoint him as a full member. So he's been on there as an alternate, so why not, right? Any discussion? All those in favor? I love these people who step up. Thank you. And I move to accept the resignation of Dave Holcroft from the Inland Wetlands and Water Course Commission. Really? Okay, all those in favor? Did we get a letter from Dave?
Yes, it's in there.
To email.
Okay, zoning and zoning, all right. Town administrators report.
All right. Wait a minute. Let's get to it. The EV charger update, the components are all in except for the school, the EV chargers, so that'll go in. If the school gives the blessing on Monday, they'll start. But you've probably seen them around our parking lots. And right now we have to learn how to do the loop software so that we can determine our charging rates. So I'll be back to the board once I have to take some training in that. And I'll keep you tuned, but the installation's going well.
Okay,
And then we're organizing to submit for the HVAC grant with the state. We had a meeting with all the parties, divided up some of the tasks, and some more emails are going out confirming who's doing what and whether we're doing it right and making sure we keep the engineering firm involved and not make any assumptions. And did anything else come of the meeting, Chris, that you had with the building committee?
No, just that, Barb said that her and Bev are targeting, submission by the end of the week. I guess they started doing some yesterday and trying to get accustomed to the updated software portal that, unlike the last year's submission, I guess the portal's a little different, but.
Right,
They've got some, maintenance records and some other documents, needed, which wasn't required last year, so. Mike Sylvester's putting that together, they're working with Civil Legislation to make sure that there's a new appendix G, which, we've got to identify, our plan to comply with the various ventilation and athletic standards. So there's some new requirements, but collectively, it sounds like the team's on target to meet the end of month submission.
Okay. And then I'm not ready at this moment to go over the gate repair. We still have some questions with our engineering firm. And the rec park Winterland, Stephen, you want to comment on that? I couldn't make it that night.
It was
I heard it
amazing.
went well.
Fabulous.
They did a nice job. We asked them to beef it up after last year and they did a lot of lights, and when I was up there about 6:15 or so, the place was crowded. A lot of young kids. They had a great looking Santa Claus there and serving hot chocolate and everything, but it really was very nice. I was very impressed.
Yeah, I was there, I don't know, maybe 7 o'clock. It was, the lights were fabulous.
Yep.
It was, and there were a ton of people there, just kind of meandering around. No, it's cool.
Yep, they
Deb
did a
does
very nice
really
job.
nice job. So
That's super. And then we had a resident or a friend, Jen, was it a friend of Deb's?
A resident, he's,
Resident?
yep. Mhm.
So
And a
he
friend.
offered half of his corporate furniture to the town. So Public Works, we rented a box truck from U-Haul and we shot down there and picked up conference tables and chairs and file cabinets and end tables and brought it all back. So we're upgrading the Public Works office a little bit, some for the senior center, some for the Murphy House, some for town
Mark,
hall.
do we have the receipts from the ones we bought for the senior center? We could bring them back? Okay,
So Jen, remind me, we should do a write-off for the donation. Just
Yes,
don't forget that.
Yep.
But that was a very generous offer. And then finally, newly elected official training, we set out training the CCM is offering for newly elected officials, do's and don'ts and ideas on how to be a elected official in your position. So that's coming up. And if any of you want to participate, we'll send it to you as well. You're not new, but they're really interesting because they spend a lot of time on Board of Finance or FIPAC. And that's probably, I've gone to a few of those. You learn a lot at that.
okay.
And then that's all I have.
Just one question. Where are we on the Hunt Road culvert?
Right now, we're closing the road on the 18th out through when, Jen? January?
third week of January.
So it's closed now?
No,
It was closed actually today.
this morning,
Well,
No, that's what I figured. When you said the 18th, I'm looking at my watch.
well,
So
originally it was the 18th and because of
because
the
of the weather.
weather, Beth thought they would be closing it today, but that's okay.
Must have been a typo.
Hey, I just take the directions.
Okay, very good. So they think they're gonna be done through January?
Yeah, third week of January.
Excellent, okay. Correspondence here for everybody is a
Oh.
state,
Stephen
Is
Cross.
there that new item you added, 10.7?
Yeah, 10.7.
About grant.
oh yeah, I don't know, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sorry, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Chris.
I thought that was just a spelling error, and I asked that. Can you tell us about,
Where'd you go?
I can probably tell you about it.
Mark,
Poor Mark.
Yeah.
10.7, grant from Connecticut Secretary of State for 10,005.
Oh, yeah, I guess every town got this money and it's to help compensate the town for the extra requirements of staying open for people to vote beyond the normal one day.
Okay.
So we just have to accept this grant.
Okay. Rebate. Thank you. Okay, so state police monthly report, let me take a look at that.
There's an uptick, big few averages. On the traffic violence.
Oh, Jesus.
You go on mute, please.
Sorry, I can't stop coughing.
To the microphone, I can feel it. I actually have gotten a couple of calls from residences and they're telling me different roads and how fast people are going. And I reached out to the state trooper and I said, listen. The time for warnings is over. People know, people write about it on the Facebook and all that stuff, and we've done our share. Please, stop people and give them a ticket. So. But that's their report, and that was, I looked at this report and I'm hoping to see an up ticket, so. AHM program report there. And so now we moved into the budget. I move to approve the transfers as presented totaling $7,257. Let's see what we're doing. Wow, that's a lot out of contingency. What's that for?
That's for, updating
I think that.
IT stuff. No, that's IT.
The machine.
There's something with plus new firewalls, which were not included as part of the IT replacement.
Yeah, that's right. It's just-
I did the same thing.
Oh, wow.
To cover the unbudgeted cost for new desks in the tax collector's office, and we just got new desks from this gentleman.
You're muted.
You're muted.
His desks were huge desks. They were bigger than that office could have handled.
Plus
Yeah,
we didn't-
Carol took a very small desk.
Yeah, they didn't offer that until after, a couple weeks after Carol. had gotten hers.
Okay. Any discussion on the transfers? I'm already dipping into that contingency. Okay, so all those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Opposed? No.
How much do we have left in contingency? Enough?
Yes. Well,
Balance
we
for
usually budget for 75,000. It's the
Right.
fiscal year started
Started,
July.
right, so it's,
I don't think we've had any big hits. We've got, I would think at least 40.
okay, this seems like it's.
I'll have to check, Stephen.
Yeah, I don't remember us taking.
I haven't remember being concerned.
It's just the beginning of the year.
I move to approve the refunds as presented totaling $271.70. Any discussion? In favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Payment of bills. I move to approve the payment of bills totaling $377,264 consisting of 23-24 regular credit card and paychecks.
Mhm.
5,000 Chevy Tahoe. Oh, that's actually. Is that your car?
Sure.
Mine. This Chevy Tahoe, that came in under budget though, right? Okay, he said yes. I don't want-
Poor thing.
I know,
He's not feeling it.
That's what we have in-
Okay, this-
I know.
So the John Deere, was that, we budgeted that, and did it come in under, over, did we take a hit, what?
I don't remember there being a concern. I think we bought an extended warranty because we had some money to afford that. But I don't think we had to, we went over.
Okay.
54,000 for a
Yeah, they're,
lot of money.
um,
Has the price for Casello gone up at all? Or is
We're
that-
negotiating that right now. I'm waiting for their bid. He said he'd have it to me Friday. We have a bid from a competitor,
Oh, there's other people. that-
CWPM or something like that.
Mhm.
yeah.
Good. Competition helps.
Okay, any more discussion on bills?
I had a question on the last page. December 13th special meal from Ted's IGA for $703.
That's for the registrar of voters. I'm feeding them.
Oh, would that been, Veterans Day?
That might be Veterans Day.
I
Oh,
think that was the senior center luncheon. How much was it, Chris?
$700? I don't think so.
That seems high.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the veterans was only like 300.
300.
Yeah.
What does, where is
I
it
don't-
on there?
He said, where is that
It's on the last page
of the itemized?
of the printout.
Yeah.
Is that where's the bill from?
There you go, Ted's IGA, special meal.
Oh, I think that was paying back for Thanksgiving holiday
Yeah.
basket gift cards
Oh,
Back. to Deb Smith.
a special meal.
What?
We give food cards in the Thanksgiving Christmas basket to people with special food needs. And we take it out of I believe it comes out of our budget we budget money for that agency. Or volunteer group. I'll ask Bev where that exactly comes from. But we've been doing that for years.
We don't know if they have backup to all this stuff, do they? I don't know.
No.
Okay. We'll look into that.
Okay.
All those in favor of paying the bills?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Yeah, then we can discuss how that kind of goes. I just so I understand it.
Oh, I know, and we're trying to improve it.
I'm going to executive session.
Just really quickly.
No audience of citizens still, so board member comments before, so Gail can get these on, Gail. Gail, where's Gail? So Jen can get them on the records here. Board member comments, anybody?
We need to do a better job of finding a way to get people to vote when we spend $2,500 just to mail it further. And we get 100.
I know, we had very.
250 votes.
Not even.
Well, it was 169 to 69, so that's 170 and 70, excuse me, 240.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
So, I mean, whether it's a text message or an
I think a
email,
text message would or the mass email.
something.
I know.
I mean, we have the email list at least for the Columbia Views or something, we could use that. I don't know, just need to, it was pretty sad to have such a significant vote, to have 250 people show.
Steven, we're gonna show another presentation of TextGov, which I think could help a lot if we get people to sign up for text messaging blasts.
Okay,
So we'll show it later.
okay. Later another day, right?
Yes.
Checking. Okay, what, anybody else, Chris? Bill? Judy?
No.
I do want to say that once again, our Department of Public Works, in the aftermath of that storm that came through, did an amazing job. And our emergency services, the fire department, they were giving me hour by hour briefs, calling me, notifying me, telling me where we were. As many storms as we have, we always seem to find a small glitch where we need to do things, and we need to work with Eversource and DPW, the state, and DOT, because everything up here was energized, but the traffic light was not, because DOT has to come out and flip that. So we're wondering why, people are coming in from all angles. We learned, we're putting it into our standard operating procedure manual. But everybody, emergency services did a fantastic job, so excellent. At this time, I would like to suspend the Board of Selectmen meeting and move to executive session. I would like Mark Walter to stay with us and Jen to depart, I guess, right? Are you
No,
staying?
I'm staying,
You're staying?
yeah.
Well, she just has to shut off the computer, that's all.
Okay,
heard
I
nobody
invite her to
does.
stay then, if you, listen, you trust, I trust. 'Cause you're never.
Okay, so wait a minute, let me kill the recording at, what time is it? 7:35?
Yeah, and there's nobody, we don't see anybody in the chat.
No. Okay,
Move to terminate executive session and resume the Board of Selectmen meeting, and if nothing else,
at 7:49, we ended executive session, but taking no action.
taking no action. Thank you. I forget that all the time. So I move to adjourn at 7:49 prime. That means 30 seconds. Just saying.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Everybody, have a wonderful holiday.
You too.
Yeah, have a wonderful holiday, because after the holidays, that's when we go to work.
Your signatures.
Oh, come on.
Come
Come
on.
on.
And I have some other things in the
What?
office that need your signature.
Somebody sent me cookies?
No, nobody sent you cookies.
I have cookies for you, Stephen. I just can't get in or you'll get sick.
Yeah, you're coughing on them in your car. You'll forget it.
No, they're still sealed.
Oh, the berry syrup, Mark. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Yes. You feel my job?
Sorry.